Okay, have we had a chance to review bills? Any questions, comments?
I don't have any questions. I have a comment and a request for next year. There was a question about the wreaths that are displayed in the small business districts. And I would like next year for us to add Emerson Street, particularly at Ridge and Emerson and Green Bay, where we have small business district, but we do have one there, and also in Simpson at Ashland and Payne in that area. If we could add those, I think it would be really a boost to those business people there to have the wreaths as well.
Paul, that is
You got it.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, Alderman Rainey. Yeah.
She just reminded me of something I meant to mention. The business district right at Green Bay and Emerson is not lighted tonight. There are no lights on Ridge Avenue, south of Garnett, almost all the way to Dempster almost all the way to Maine with one exception, and that is between Maine and Dempster. No lights.
They grid every once in a while. I've called it in
But
several times.
it's blocks and blocks of no lights. So just to let you know. Sorry, Alderman, it was in my head.
No, that's good. And I think that our Public Works, Paul,
He's got it.
she's taking care of that. Well, I think that as this issue comes up, I know you're working to address this problem systematically because it recurs in up and down Emerson, down Church, down on Dempster. So I would like to get a report on what we are doing in terms of long-term correction. All right. Any other comments on the bills list? Okay. Otherwise, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Item A3 is a request that we approve the annual report of the Utilities Commission, the 2010 report, and maybe the Utilities Director can give us a brief overview.
Good evening, Alderman. My name's Dave Stoneback. I'm a Utilities Director, and the first thing I'd like to do is to introduce Joel Freeman, who is the Chairman of the Commission. Joel. And our first item is to ask if there were any questions regarding the data that was provided in the report.
I didn't have any questions, but if you would give us just an overview of the annual report for purpose of those who are listening, that would be good.
Yes, I'd be happy to. My name is Joel Freeman. I'm the current chair of what is now the Utilities Commission, formerly the Energy Commission. Over the previous year, we've dealt with a number of issues with ComEd, mostly at the city's request, and we've been party to kind of the technical details of those issues. And from some of the expertise of our commission members, we've been able to kind of comprehend some of those technical details and also assist the various parties in understanding the causes, the implications, and assist in the resolution of some of those. Some of those are listed here. The Ashland Avenue residents. The description of the various outages that took place around July 4th involving the YMCA and some nearby facilities. We also assisted in the negotiations with ComEd, between ComEd and the city for the franchise extension for 5 years. And ComEd currently provides two semi-annual reports, and we review each of those as part of the technical review group. ComEd has some reporting requirements that are part of the franchise. Part of those are related to electrical circuits that either have an inordinate number of issues or circuits that are approaching capacity and might need some future load capability. Just in general, because the commission is made up of volunteers with, even though some technical backgrounds, there are some diverse backgrounds. But there is an interest in participating in the review of the wind turbine responses. There is interest in other energy issues related to the city's buildings, also as related to the residents. City staff have asked that the Utilities Commission also assist in review of the electricity and natural gas procurement for city buildings. And as part of the expansion from an Energy Commission to a Utilities Commission, the members will also be reviewing water and sewer issues and concerns with city staff, as well as reviewing the capital budgets related to those. As part of our energy review, one of the items that we've been asked to provide assistance on is an energy review of the water plant. The water plant is the largest single electric user of the city's buildings. And so we felt this was a worthy undertaking to see if there were any opportunities for either running more efficiently or running at less cost. Until we look into that further, we won't know the answers to those questions, but that is one of the undertakings we hope to take on.
Can we get okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you for your report. When you refer to a circuit, what are you talking about in terms of a circuit?
Is your mic on?
Yeah, my mic is on. What are you referring to in terms of a circuit? How large an area does a circuit cover?
It varies by the circuit. So the electrical distribution is broken up into segments, and each segment serves, it could be, in some cases, a single customer, if it's a large customer. It might serve several blocks, or it might extend across the city a half mile before it starts feeding people's homes or apartment buildings or businesses. So the configuration of those circuits varies greatly depending on which one. But the outages that we review in ComEd's report are the outages related to when those circuits go out for some reason. Either it's an upgrade or an accident, or animals get fried on there, or any number of reasons, or it could just be some failure of the equipment or the components that need to be repaired.
Can we get a motion to accept the annual report?
Motion to accept.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, next item is A 3.1 is a request that we approve the contract to Gila Corporation, doing business as Municipal Sales Bureau of Austin, Texas, to collect outstanding debt for several city departments. Funding is provided on a commission basis, with the net amount collected to be deposited to appropriate revenue accounts. Can we get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right. Any discussions? All right. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
A 3.2 is a request to award the Evanston 311 call center project to Bowler Construction Company Incorporated from Waukegan, Illinois. in the amount of $61,100. Funding is from the Capital Improvement Program. Can we get a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Okay. All those, oh, yes, Alderman Rainey.
Where were all the contractors from Evanston screaming about getting this job? I mean, this is a real job that, is happening now. We had one bidder, one.
Okay, well, let's
One
see
Evanston
what we know.
bidder.
Do we know anything?
No, I'm not asking
Okay.
our staff. I'm asking the
audience.
minority and Evanston business public.
Why
You
didn't
got
they
to
bid?
stay on this stuff, and you can't expect to be spoon-fed the jobs. They're being published in the paper, and here we had one contractor. This was not rocket science. This was renovation of a space. And I think a bunch of people missed the boat.
Okay. And I assume that this particular bid was published in the same way that we do whatever else, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, again, I think we have to ask that question of our MWEBE person as to what his opinion might be as to why local people didn't bid. And to make sure that as we update our directory, that we also communicate with people and ask them why they're not bidding on these types of contracts. Because you're right, they're obvious.
I think there might not have been a lot of newspaper coverage for this project, whereas, I mean, it just seems to me that there was an awful lot of noise about the other project. But if people are serious, they want to work all the time, not just on the sexy stuff. They want to work all the time. And
Sure.
once you get into this track with things like a $60,000 rehab job, you're going to know about all the other jobs. I was mortified when I saw that there was only one Evanston contractor applying for this.
That is true. We did talk about updating the directory, greater outreach, et cetera, to Evanston-based businesses, minority-owned, women-owned businesses. But you're right. We talk about this all of the time, so I don't know why we cannot get, real consistent inquiry bid submitted by our local contractors. I have no idea.
Maybe the leadership of the organization isn't as serious as it claims to be, because that's where the fault lies. I don't believe the fault lies with our staff. Our staff does everything legal and publishes everything. And if you're not on top of things as an organization or an association or as an independent contractor, then you're going to miss the boat, and that's what happened here.
Sure. All right. Any other comments, questions regarding this matter? Okay. All those in favor say aye. 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 Okay. A 3.3 is a request that we approve a contract for the purchase of a Munters dehumidification system to GV Zentel Associates Incorporated from Northbrook, Illinois, in the amount of $36,000. Funding for this work will be from the Water Fund. Can we get a motion?
Move approval. Second.
Okay. Any questions, comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Item A 3.4 is a request that we approve the lowest responsive and responsible bid for Duco Incorporated from Waukesha, Wisconsin, in the amount of $21,268 for the period of December 15, 2010 through December 14, 2011. Funding is provided by the Fleet Services Fund for major maintenance materials to maintain autos. This allocation for these services is within budget of $30,000. Can we get a motion?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item 83.5, there's been a change in, there's been an amendment, and I'm going to ask the Assistant City Manager to come up and explain.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the Administration and Public Works Committee. Marty Lyons, Assistant City Manager. A3.5, we would request that the committee remove vehicle number 342, which is the Escape Hybrid. We've been working quite a bit to try and make sure if a hybrid could work for us, and it does not work as far as all of the radio and communications equipment. What we would like to do is just pull the vehicle completely and come back to you separately at the next meeting with an update. Just so you're aware, the cost of the hybrid is $29,978, so $29,978. And if you look in your packet, the cost for a Ford Expedition is below this. So we do know that any change will not result in an increase in the purchase price, but we are recommending you pull this off. So the new amount for the total purchase request is $248,419.76.
Okay.
248,419.76. And as according to your summary, Mr. Chair, the amount to Curry Motors would change from $982.76 to $53,004.76.
Okay. So then we are, the total number of vehicles will be 10 as opposed to 11?
It will be reduced by one, yes.
Okay. All right. Hold on one second. There's some questions of clarification. Go ahead, Alderman Fisk.
Thank you. Marty, what specifically doesn't work? And is it something that we're going to encounter with other hybrid vehicles?
Mm-hmm.
It is definitely a possibility at this size vehicle. What we experienced when we looked at the non-pursuit vehicles, that the Escape Hybrid was going to be about $5,000 to $6,000 more, but that we could look at that from a price perspective. The Tahoe and Expedition, those hybrids almost doubled in price, $52,000 as opposed to the $28,000, $29,000 for those as hybrids. So while those hybrid vehicles may have been able to fit all of the equipment, the cost was rather prohibitive. What we were looking at in the case of the fire chief's vehicle, which is the one we were talking about, is it needs 3 radios, and this is the only vehicle that did not have a mobile data terminal in it, and it really should. The previous chief didn't have an MDT in there. I know we sometimes call them, instead of the MDT, I know we refer to them differently, but we really want that piece of equipment in there. And after Agenda went to bed, we learned that that's not going to fit, and we would just ask that we be allowed to bring it back with a more complete analysis.
Okay. Alderman Burris.
I was actually, before you got up, I was going to say, great, we're finally doing something green, but we're not. And it's rather disappointing. Obviously, you've explained why we can't make this work and the cost prohibitiveness of it, but there have to be other vehicles that we can use hybrids for. It's talking about it for at least, 18 months, 20 months, and I just haven't seen improvement. I was really excited when I read the packet this weekend, thinking, wow, we've made a step, and it's no step forward and 3 steps back. So a little frustrating.
Okay, Alderman Rainey.
I think maybe that hybrids would work better for other uses other than in the police and fire department. For example, in property standards or zoning or something like that. I know we had a vehicle, I'm sure you remember, Lionel, we had a vehicle donated to us, a brand new car for the canine unit when we first got the dog. But we couldn't take it because it couldn't be retrofitted, and it was a top-of-the-line vehicle. It wasn't like a chintzy car or anything. So what we did in that case was we switched it with another department that was going to get a car, and then we bought another car. So maybe something less demanding, a department
maybe
that
the time
had
is not right.
less
Yeah.
need for all the electrical sirens and bells and whistles.
Well, it's, the Director of Public Works, and she is also over the Fleet Services, Suzette Robinson, discuss it.
Yes, I just wanted to let you know that in the first meeting in January, we will be coming back with a purchase. We're going to apply for a grant for a hybrid garbage truck and a dump truck. So we are looking to explore further. So just want to let you know that.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Lyons, could you please restate the total amount? Is it $248,419 and what's the cents?
76.
76 cents? Okay. Then the recommendation is for approval of 10 vehicles to be purchased in the amount of $248,419.76. Can we get a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Item A3.6 is a request that we approve the purchase of 12 additional City Works licenses, implementation services, and first-year maintenance from Azteca Systems Incorporated. This expands the City Works work order management software tools utilized by the Utilities Department to the Streets and Sanitation Division of the Public Works Department. Can we get a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Okay. Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Item A4 is a request that we amend we approve the change order number 1 to bid 11-33, the Devitt Arm Streetlight Fixture Replacement Project contract, increasing the original contract by $79,464 from $109,972.50 to $189,436.50. This change order will provide for the replacement of 112 light fixtures on Dodge Avenue from Howard Street to Simpson Street. Funding for this work will be from the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Block Grant in the revised total amount of $189,436.50. Can we get a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay. That's great. Alderman Rainey.
Alderman John Baptiste, are these the same exact light fixtures, just a replacement? Do they
Yeah,
look different? Are they the same? And is it the same kind of lighting?
Paul Schneider, City Engineer. Chairman John Baptiste, committee members. These are actually an updated replacement lighting. The existing lights that are out there are mercury vapor lights. They're old and outdated. The new lights will actually be induction lighting, so they're much more energy efficient, and they actually throw a much brighter and a wider spread of light on the street. So it is a replacement and upgrade, in fact.
Is it the same pole and fixture, or is it
The
new?
pole will not change. We'll take the old luminaire off and put the new luminaire up. So the pole will be the existing pole.
And are we going to spruce those poles up, the ones that have stuff stuck on them, and
As we go around and as people point out that there are some that are missing the plates and things like that, we do make an effort to get out and replace those.
But we're going to be able to see a difference in the way the light looks.
Alderman Rainey,
right?
please speak into the mic. Speak
We'll
into the
be
mic.
able to see a difference in the way the light looks.
Oh, yes.
Yep, we will.
Yes.
Interesting.
On the street and both looking at the light itself.
And it'll be finished by February, the memo says.
That is the plan, yes.
Excellent, excellent. That's good.
Where have we placed such fixtures so we could see the difference? 'Cause
Currently, we had run a test last summer on Green
is
Bay
that
Road.
on
where we
Green
set
Bay or
out-
Jackson?
Yeah.
Didn't we do some on Jackson?
That's different.
No, Alderman Jean-Baptiste, on Jackson, that's where we're proposing the snap lighting project.
Okay.
And that, too, will have upgraded luminaires, but it'll also have additional light poles as well. But currently, the luminaires we're proposing have not been installed anywhere in the city yet, but we're actually going to be having a pre-construction meeting, I believe, before the holidays, so I should be able to update you on that. And as soon as they go up, I can make everyone aware so you can look for yourself.
Okay. Will that double the amount of lighting that we get? I know Alderman Rainey asked you whether or not we'll see the difference, but I mean, I don't.
It depends upon how far away you are from the light. When we did our test in the street, we actually took measurements using light meters on the ground, and we tested versus what we have existing and what we're proposing to put up. Right underneath the light, you'll get more light, but it will not be double. At the back of the walk, you'll get more light, which actually is a good thing. But what happens when you get further away from the luminaire, you get significantly more light than what the existing lights are throwing now. So our light poles are spaced pretty far apart right now. So the in-between space will be much better lit than what it is today.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, once we have them installed, we intend to go back and check that and see how much improvement we got. And just for information, the current lights are 400 watt, and the new lights that are going in are going to be 200 watts. So we'll get better lighting at about half the wattage.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, then, we'll be observing to see. All right. Did we have a motion already? Okay. Can we get a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. The next 8 or 9, 10 items are General 11, resolutions having to do with tax abatement. Can I ask the Assistant City Manager to just come and give a general introduction as to what this is about before I run through all of them?
Good evening again, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. What you have before you annually, we abate taxes for bonds that are issued where there is an alternative funding source. And in this case, we have alternative funds that come from the sewer fund, the water fund, tax increment funds, all funds that are not strictly from the city's general tax levy, where you would see it in our budget in the debt service fund of approximately $10 million. I'm rounding. You see we have a little over $12 million in abatements and $10 million in actual levies for our total debt service levy that is done to cover all bonds that are outstanding for the city presently. So we abate a little bit more than half, close to 60% of our bonds, paying for them from other sources. And these do come from bonds back as far as in the 90s that were refunded, but presently you'll see them mostly, all of the abatements listed don't reference those specifically because we continue to refund bonds and go for lower interest rates whenever we can. So that's why in some cases you'll see references that the original bond was $19.99 and was refunded in 2008, and we're still abating it. So that saves the TIF fund, or it saves the water fund, but it can get a little confusing, and I'm happy to answer any question on any individual abatements.
Any questions? Okay. Then what we're going to do is I am going to read just the resolutions and what bond they're for, and at the final period we'll move A5 through A15. Okay. All right. This is a request that the committee approve the Resolution 68-R-10, abatement for bond series 2000. Resolution 69-R-10, abatement for bond series 2002-AB. Resolution 70-R-10, abatement for bond series 2002C. Resolution 71-R-10 abatement for bond series 2004. Resolution 72-R-10 abatement for bond series 2005. Resolution 73-R-10 abatement for bond series 2006. Resolution 74-R-10 abatement for bond series 2007. Resolution 75-R-10 abatement for bond series 2008B. Resolution 76-R-10 abatement for bond series 2008C. Resolution 77-R-10 abatement for bond series 2008D. Resolution 78-R-10 abatement for bond series 2010B. Can I get a motion to approve items A5 to item A15 through item A15?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay. All right. Item A16 is a request to approve Ordinance 75-0-10, which amends the city's current handgun ordinance. The proposed language constitutes reasonable regulations of firearms in accord with the recent U.S. Supreme Court decisions. This is for introduction. Can we move introduction?
Move introduction. Second.
Okay, all those in favor of approving introduction, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? All right. Item A17 is a request that we authorize the city manager to sell a portion of sewer service owned by the city of Evanston and located beneath McCormick Boulevard and 2010 Hawthorne Lane to the abutting property owner, Marvin Cantor. Can we get a motion to introduce?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor of introductions?
I have one question.
Okay, go ahead, Alderman Rainey.
I'm curious, I'm assuming that since, and I thought this was a very creative solution, but if this person owns the sewer, will that person then be responsible for maintaining it? Let's say it ages and cracks. Is that his problem?
Mr. Schneider?
Paul Schneider, city engineer. Committee members, that is correct. With the purchase of this sewer, Mr. Cantor will also be taking over all maintenance of it from his property all the way through the catch basin to the mainline sewer. That becomes the responsibility of the property owner.
Now, let's say that Mr. Cantor, who's a very responsible person and who wants to have a fully functioning sewer system, moves. And some deadbeat moves in and refuses to maintain the sewer system. What happens?
Well, I think that's precisely why when we brought this issue up with legal, they insisted that this happen as a purchase, because now the purchase will be attached to the title, so the new owner will have responsibility. So I think it's a matter of dotting all the I's and crossing the T's.
But the question I really have is, what if, regardless of what the law, I mean, there's a law that says you can't kill somebody and people do it all the time. So what does the deterioration of this pipe affect any other homeowners? If it collapses, would that have any impact on anybody else? Or
no, it would not. Mr. Cantor's property would be the only one connected directly to the sewer.
All right, so if it does collapse and the owner doesn't want to take care of it, then they'll be the only person. All right, I don't care.
It would be completely a private.
I didn't understand.
Sewer.
All right.
Okay. And Paul, I heard what you said, but it's hard for me to understand how this is now disconnected and not related, and nothing else is interdependent on its good maintenance.
Well, I guess in a broader sense, it would be, because the watershed that drains to Mr. Cantor's backyard is beyond his own backyard. He is receiving water from other adjacent properties. The problem is, and has been, whenever there's a significant rainstorm, all the water tends to pond in his backyard. So he pretty much bears the brunt of that, that condition. So while other properties might be tributary, right now they don't really feel the same effect Mr. Cantor does because his yard is the low spot in that particular drainage area. And that's why when the McCormick Boulevard project came along, we took the step of providing an extra sewer lateral into the parkway such that it would help alleviate a problem he's had for some time now.
Okay. All right. Okay, any other questions regarding this matter? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay. Items for discussion, do we have any? I don't think so. I didn't see any items for discussion. I didn't see any specific communications. Okay, in that case, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Okay, for those who are here and those who will be watching from home, the next meeting is the meeting of the City Council's Committee Planning and Development, and that comes on at 6:50 in 15 minutes. Thank you very much. We adjourn. Those who are expected to attend the P&D meeting, it is declared by notice to start. It will start at 7:15 as opposed to 6:50. That's